Of course, everyone since the last show wants another update on Joann Fabrics. And whenever I post anything on this channel having to do with Joann Fabrics, it gets a ton of clicks. I can understand why. I also want to clarify, I've been reporting on what's going on with Joann Fabrics from a corporate level. Obviously, a lot of us have a high interest in this business because this is one of the major places we can shop for fabric, sewing supplies, craft supplies. And if something were to happen to Joann's, our options for other shopping at physical stores is fairly limited. I also want to be clear, I'm personally not rooting for like the demise of Joann's or anything like that. I don't want Joann's to go out of business. I hope they can get it together. I hope their leadership team can make some changes to right the ship. Obviously, Joann's has some problems. And I don't want people to think I'm talking about this particular business because I don't want it to exist. That's not true at all. The reason I wanted to call attention to this particular company is because I think they need to change and because I don't want them to go out of business. So I'm trying to just report on what's going on. This is called the Sewing Report. But I've gotten some folks who kind of seem to think that I'm doing this to like try to be negative, and I'm not trying to be negative, but I am going to be talking about topics that people care about. Obviously, this is something that has a high level of interest to people. And there's a lot going on with it. So I'm trying to be very fair in the reporting. I'm not trying to unnecessarily like bash Joann's or try to, again, I'm not like reveling in their failures. I'm actually very disappointed as a longtime customer at Joann's and someone, I don't want Joann's to go away. I hope they can change. And I think by talking about this business, hopefully we can maybe be heard by this corporate leadership so that they will listen to customers. They will listen to us. So that's why I'm doing this. But some people seem to think I'm, like really wanting them to not exist. And that's just not true. So I'm going to talk about what people have an interest in and what's important within the sewing industry. And this is a very important part of the sewing industry. I've been shopping at Joann's for decades. I hope they stick around. I really do. And I hope they can improve the business so that they can continue to exist. So let's talk about the latest with Joann's, because there was a new article put out by TheStreet.com. They've been doing some pretty good reporting about Joann's. So let's chat about the latest. Analyst, beloved retailer headed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Joann's, come on. All right, it's been a very rough period for retailers with a number of big names going under last year. Over the past 12 months, the retail world was rocked by big names going under and a couple of others just barely surviving. In most cases, you can blame the financial damage done by the COVID pandemic, which forced many companies to burn cash while selling very little. Bed Bath & Beyond led the list as its merchandise was non-essential during the pandemic. Yeah, that's very true. People were improving their homes, but that tended to be things like painting rooms or building home offices, not upgrading their bedding or getting new towels. Christmas tree shops also suffered a Chapter 7 bankruptcy liquidation because it simply could not operate for months. It was a store-based business, and it simply never recovered from the lockdown period when its stores were either closed or sparsely visited. That's the same fate that befell Tuesday Morning, a similar, albeit less loved chain that also used the treasure hunt heavy discount model. Both Party City and David's Bridal narrowly survived their bankruptcy filings, which were caused because people basically did not have parties or large weddings for over a year. It's hard to sell wedding dresses and party supplies when people are hunkered down in their homes, afraid to see other people, but both of those companies managed to find the money needed to continue. Now, a company that should have been a pandemic winner stands on the brink of collapse, and its prospects are bleak. According to CreditSafe head of brand Regini Bella, JOANN faces deep financial problems. In theory, people stuck at home should have been good for the sewing enthusiasts and other hobbyists that make up JOANN's customer base. It's possible, however, that even when stores were opened, those customers opted to buy their supplies online. That could have shifted some of JOANN's regulars to Amazon, and the ease of buying from the online giant may have changed customer behavior. It's also possible that some of the company's fan base died or changed their hobbies during the COVID period. That's bleak. Some of their customer base died. I mean, I guess that's technically possible. No matter what the reason is, Bala thinks the situation is dire. Given the struggles JOANN has had with cash flow, its inability to stay current with many of its bills, its declining sales in fiscal year 2023, and its $1 billion debt load, our CreditSafe algorithm has classified the company as a high risk of becoming seriously delinquent on payments and could be headed for bankruptcy very soon. Without strong leadership, still no permanent CEO, it could be hard to right the ship, she told the street via email. I think those are all pretty valid points. I also particularly found the speculation about maybe a lot of those customers shifting to Amazon or shopping online. I can definitely see that. JOANN has a lot of risks. Bala pointed out that JOANN has been late in paying its bills, something which often foreshadows a bankruptcy filing. CreditSafe data shows that JOANN struggled to make on-time payments in the second half of 2023. Most of that time, about 20 to 31% of its bills were paid late, 1 to 30 days, while about 1 to 8% of its bills were paid late, 31 to 60 days, she shared. Sales have also been falling. Net sales declined by 4.1% compared to the same period last year to $539.8 million, with total comparable sales decreasing 4.1%, the company shared in its fourth quarter earnings report. JOANN's interim leaders, as all executives do in this situation, tried to paint a positive picture. We are pleased with our third quarter results and importantly have increased our top-line full-year outlook. Our third quarter appeared to focus on operational retail fundamentals with an agile, data-driven approach, helping us to win in our core categories, while over-delivering on the implementation and execution of our focus. Simplify and Grow Cost Savings Initiative, Chief Customer Officer Christopher DiTullio said during the Q3 earnings call. Despite all of that corporate speak happy talk, Bala sees the company's risk of bankruptcy increasing. JOANN's is rated as a high risk. Based on CreditSafe's risk algorithm, which takes into account both trade payment data and financial results, JOANN is deemed to be a high risk D, meaning it could be at risk of bankruptcy. Its risk score dropped from C to D in July of 2023 and has stayed there since, she added. I thought that was a very good article. And yeah, it looks like JOANN has a lot of debt. They've been having trouble paying their bills, and sales have declined. And it seems like them cutting the workforce, laying people off, and not having the stores staffed adequately at many locations, from what many of you are reporting, that's also not going to help people have a good customer experience. And currently, the stock price, last week I think it was at 46 cents. Now it's at 47 cents, so it's not doing too much better. And look at the high, 2021, $16. Now 47 cents. I mean, that's not good. I know they're at risk of being delisted off of the stock exchange. You can also look at their financials on Google and check everything out. Everything's sort of, things aren't going super hot for them as of October 2023. Net income is down, net profits are down, operating income is down, revenue is down, cost of revenue is down. So, I don't know. I wish, and you know what? I wish I had better news to report. Things are just not going particularly well for JOANN's, and I think a lot of us are kind of, myself included, we're worried that JOANN's is maybe at the risk of bankruptcy. Who knows what the future holds for JOANN's, but this is not good.